right, live on Facebook and Instagram. Are you collaborating with other micro business owners? So, this is something I want to talk about, and I've talked about it before. Today, I'm going to be sharing 2 reasons why collaborating is so essential to the growth of your business. So, thanks so much for joining me. Hi, y'all. Thanks again for joining me. And please like and share this video if you get value from it. If you're listening to it on the podcast, thank you so much for your support. So I'm Dr. P. I'm a strategic business coach. I've been a school psychologist for about 10 years in K-12 schools, been on professional organization committees, and I am a part-time faculty for online psychology graduate program, taught more than 10 online classes. So you can tell a little bit about my background. Does include collaboration, right? And if you can tell, let me share it with you. It does include collaboration. A lot of what I had to do did involve collaborating, because at the end of the day, we all bring our different skill sets to the table. And with what we bring, there are going to be things that we don't know. So for me, I learned a lot from collaborating with other people who their specialty areas were in other areas, So that's one of the reasons why collaboration is actually one of the values for my company, and I'm going to talk about that a little later on. So as micro business owners, there's so many things that we want to be able to accomplish, right? Some of it we can do on our own, but what about those things we can't do on our own? This is where collaboration can come in, and it can be so helpful for each and every one of us. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 2 reasons why collaboration is essential for the growth of your business. If you aren't already collaborating, you're going to want to listen up to why you should be collaborating, right? So before becoming a business owner, what do you think about before you became a business owner, right? You probably worked for an organization, a company, a business where you had to complete projects. And in completing those projects, you probably did it with people in other departments within that same organization, within that same company, within that same business, right? And it's really highly likely that you probably did. And if you think about those situations, those were times when something really interesting and powerful happened. Because take, for instance, for me, when I worked in school districts, I remember being on teams as a school psychologist while working with individuals in other departments. And it could have been individuals who were occupational therapists, physical therapists, speech and language pathologists. They might have been in social work, worked in the curriculum department, worked in security, worked in HR, worked in the discipline area. Point is, there were individuals who brought different skill sets to the table. So when we're presented with a problem, we had to solve it. When you had all of this combined knowledge in a room, what happened was something amazing, and it was the fact that we were able to come up with such a great solution based on the input from all the members of that team. And it was always better than what each of us individually could have come up with. That is the power of collaborating. And it is not about egos, it's about being open to somebody else's point of view. And if you are collaborating correctly, you are going to listen to a point of view that you can relate to, one that you might not be able to relate to, but you have that open conversation. You're not criticizing, you're not pulling down anybody else. You're being open-minded and listening to what each person has to bring to the table, and then combining all that information to solve the problem that y'all are facing as a team. So here's the thing though, as a business owner, it's still beneficial. As business owners, you can still collaborate. I still collaborate. And the reason being is you can collaborate with businesses who are in other industries, but also with some who are in the same industry as you. You really can. It's all about why you would want to be collaborating too. That's another thing you need to be considering. And you do have to put some work into the collaboration. It shouldn't be that you just see any small business owner and say, hey, yeah, I want to collaborate with you. Do put some thought into it, because you want to make sure it's going to be something that will be beneficial to both of you, not just one of you. Again, it's collaboration. You're not being selfish here. You're collaborating with another small business. So bear in mind, if you are collaborating with someone who has a business in your same industry. I know you might be thinking, oh my God, that sounds weird. Why would I want to collaborate with my competition? But here's the thing. Y'all might be in the same industry, but you might have different products and different services that you're offering to the same audience. That's why you might consider collaborating with a business who's in the same industry, because then you guys can then offer something together that you could not offer separately, and therefore can be beneficial to both of your businesses, right? So with collaboration and connecting, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, collaboration and connecting is one of the core values for my company. And we do believe that collaboration plays a key role in consulting, in coaching, and in the training services that we offer. Because through collaboration, we get to ask those difficult questions. You know those questions I'm talking about, so that we are not making assumptions about what the problem is. And that way we are able to find solutions and develop goals together. But we can't do that collaborative goal development if we don't have that collaborative discussion at the beginning, right? So with that whole process of collaboration, we believe that it helps to foster those connections that we have. And we get to understand why and how of the clients that we work with and the partners that we work with, right? It becomes so important, collaboration and connecting. So earlier today, I was actually speaking with another small business owner, right? And our conversation started about one thing, and then that quickly ended up with us talking about something else. And that something else was a possible collaboration. And I'll be serious. When we went into this conversation, I did not have a collaboration on my mind. You know, that wasn't anything. I was thinking about the reason why I wanted to talk to this business owner. You know, I had already given her a heads up about what it was I wanted to discuss, so that we could, you know, find an answer to that. We did, by the way. But we also ended up talking about a possible collaboration. And it was really exciting, because it wasn't something, again, that I went into this conversation thinking about, but just to hear her reasoning for the collaboration, and also to see how it could be beneficial on my end, how we can come together. It was so amazing. You know, it was really amazing, because it turns out we both have interest in providing the webinars and courses to business owners, and especially to micro business owners. So that was one of the things that actually brought us together, you know, in terms of our passion and who we're serving. But she's in a different industry, but that doesn't mean that we can't collaborate together. So we shared about those reasons, you know, why we thought about working with each other. We did, and how it can help increase both of our revenues, and how we can explore different marketing strategies, you know, to share that collaborative project that we are going to be working on. It really was such an unexpected but very exciting conversation, as you can tell. So, of course, though, we still have some brainstorming to do to really develop the collaborative project, because we both value strategic planning when working with our clients, and we do the same thing for ourselves when we're working with partners, right? So we are not going to just run out and start doing this thing. We are going to sit down, and we already talked about the dates for us to sit and brainstorm together. Because as inspiring as that conversation was, we are going to be realistic, and we know that we have to plan so that we can execute this project to the full potential that it has, so both of us can benefit from it. So the conversation earlier this morning just inspired me for today's topic about collaboration. It really did. And even though our conversation was like almost, 8 hours ago, I still feel as though Shin and I had this conversation just 10 minutes ago, just before I hit go live on this live, right? Because it really was an exciting and inspiring conversation about collaboration and about the project. The project, oh my gosh, yes, we're both so fired up about this project, because we both are coming at it from different angles, but our reason for doing it is similar. So it's so funny. We didn't even know what each other was planning. But anyways, that is a conversation for another time, because when we get closer to revealing what that project is going to be, I'll be sure to share that information with y'all. Today, I want to be talking about collaboration. So with collaboration, you know, there's so many benefits of it. And I've talked about collaboration before, because collaboration and connecting is one of the 4 core values here at Priscilla Kuser Consulting Solutions. So I do have two other videos that you can check out in my Facebook library, and I believe it's also on YouTube as well. You can check them out on there for two other videos where I talk about some of the benefits for collaborating. And today, I'm going to be sharing with you two more of the benefits for collaboration for the benefit of your business. You know, how collaboration can help your business to grow if you aren't already collaborating, right? So just two reasons I want to share with you today. There are tons of benefits, tons of reasons, tons of benefits for collaboration, but today I'm only going to be sharing two with you. And if you want to learn more, like I said, you can check out those other two videos that I have on collaboration in the Facebook library and also on YouTube. So the first one is innovation. That is an amazing benefit of collaborating with other small businesses, especially with other micro businesses. And a big part of that is because both of you have different value propositions. Both of you have something that you're offering that isn't already out there, but you're not offering the same thing. So if you can see a reason why you should be partnering with another company and collaborating to create something meaningful, then I highly recommend that you actually explore that option, because you never know what's going to happen. Because through the collaboration, you can get inspired by new techniques and new strategies that can help you with setting bigger and even better goals for your business. And the collaboration shouldn't be a one-time thing. If you truly want this to help grow your business, it is not going to be a one-time thing. It is going to be something that is going to happen with regular meetings, you know, so you can talk about what's going on, so you can plan for the project, talk about, you know, how the project is going to be executed and how you're going to monitor it. Because what we do as business owners. So it's not about sitting down 1 minute and saying, okay, let's go and do this thing, then running out and doing it without a plan. Because you also want to make sure it is beneficial for both of you. And the only way to do that is to look at your data to see how it was doing. So as you're moving through that process, that collaboration process, you're going to be having that conversations with each other. And those conversations can lead both of you into a direction you weren't expecting and help you to come together to create something that neither one of you had to offer in the first place. But together, you're offering something so strong, so powerful, that it will be irresistible to the target audiences that both of you have. Hence why collaboration can help grow your business. And the innovative project that you come up with, whether it's a product or a service, whatever it is that you come up with, can also end up taking your business into a new market that you hadn't considered before. Because you may have not been able to do it before because, you know, you only have select products and services. But with this collaborative partner, now you're able to take your business into markets that you probably thought about or didn't even think about before. So again, benefit of collaboration, you know, that innovation. So the second one I want to talk about is improve your bottom line, because we all want to improve that, right? And let's have a win-win situation. So when you're collaborating with other businesses, you might have some improvements in your development and also in your delivery processes. This means that with the collaboration, you know, with the new product or service, you might be able to now take that product, that new service to market by far quicker than when you were doing it by yourself. Or, you know, if you were doing it by yourself, it can help you get to market by far quicker when you're collaborating with others. And it can also lead to you getting bigger contracts. Because it might be a situation wherein you are trying to get contracts with certain other companies, especially if you're a business to business, and you weren't able to obtain it because you were lacking in certain areas. Because you know, when you're looking at those RFPs, there are certain things they're looking for. You might have 7 out of the 8 things, still go after it. And I mean, I'm not going to stop you. You should still go after it, even if you got 7 out of the 8 things. That's me. You never know what can happen. But it could be that one thing that you don't have, maybe the reason why your RFPs got denied or not accepted, right? So now when you go and you collaborate with another business, now here it is, you're in a better position because that other business brings in that 8th thing you didn't have, and now together you guys are able to obtain contracts that you weren't able to obtain by yourself. right? So, hey, you're getting some improvements in that bottom line there because you're now getting bigger contracts. And by the way, collaboration does not have to be complex. I was reading this article and it talked about the fact that a coffee business just had a local florist's floral displays, and just talked about that local florist, and they had them displayed in the coffee shop. Then I read also about a fitness center wherein the owner of the fitness company actually partnered with a producer of the fitness equipment, had that equipment in their gym, and then what they did was the person who produced and created the fitness equipment sent people to that gym, so prospects to that gym, so they can test out the products and services. So again, it depends on what type of setup you want to have for your collaborative project. That's why I said it's not a one-time thing. It's something you got to put some thought into and some effort if you truly want it to be beneficial for both you and the person you're collaborating with. So those are two things: innovation and a win-win situation, improving that bottom line. Those are two additional reasons why you should be collaborating with other small business owners, especially if you are a micro business owner. So I'm Dr. Priscilla Kuster with Priscilla Kuster Consulting Solutions. Remember, solutions plus actions equals results. Thank y'all so very much for joining.